Hi, welcome to the channel. This is Beyond Authentic. My name's Lisa, and today's video is our path ahead for March. We're taking a look at the magical dates in this month's Witch's Diary. March is actually quite an important day in a lot of the world's religions, so I'll go through some of those first and then we'll get into what it might mean for pagans and witches. So on the 4th of March, it's Shrove Tuesday. This is a Christian holiday, and Shrove Tuesday is basically the day that you use up everything that you are giving up for Lent. So in the UK, certainly these days, it's known as Pancake Day because you would be using up your flour and your eggs that you were giving up for Lent. Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent itself, and Lent is a season of fasting and prayers and is an important period of time for the Christians. The 14th of March is the Hindu Holi Festival of Colours, and that celebrates the coming of spring. Also on the 14th to the 16th is the Sikh holiday of Hola Mahalla, which is a festival day or festival period, and it incorporates martial arts, poetry and community gatherings. On the 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day. And then the 20th is the Baha'i Nowruz, which I know I've butchered that pronunciation. I'm so sorry, but it's the Baha'i New Year's festive day. The 20th is also the vernal equinox, which is otherwise known to pagans as Ostara. More about that to come. The 31st of March marks Eid, which is the end of Ramadan, and it's one of the most important Islamic holy days. There's some other key dates to note as well. On the 8th, it's International Women's Day, which is celebrating women's achievements and advocates for women's rights and equality and equal pay, things like that. And as I said, on the 20th, not only is it Spring Equinox and the Baha'i New Year, it's also Alien Abduction Day. I'm not sure if that's celebrating those that have been abducted or whether we're hoping to be abducted, but I'll be keeping an eye out for the UFOs on that one. The lunar cycle for March, on the 6th of March, it's the first quarter. The 14th is the full moon. The 22nd is the third full quarter, the three-quarter moon, and the 29th is the new moon. As I mentioned, for pagans and witchy folk, Ostara is the main holiday in March. Now, the theme of the holiday is balance, renewal and new possibilities and hope. It's also a time of fertility rites. So the name Ostara actually dates back to the last millennium. In fact, it goes all the way back to the ancient times of 1974, when the term was first used by Aidan Kelly, who was a prominent pagan at the time. Ostara was associated with the goddess Eostra, who, according to Bede, was celebrated during Eostermonath, which was the original name for April. There is a little bit of contention around that because many modern scholars believe that Eostra never existed and that it was a goddess form created by Bede, basically trying to explain away a name of a month that he didn't understand. However, it's currently that's how it's known, so that is how it is currently celebrated. As I say, there is no historic record of any association with Eostra and this time of year apart from what was written by Bede. Roughly equivalent to the Christian holiday of Easter, Ostara is often seen as a fertility festival and maintains that link to rabbits and eggs as its symbols. Now, personally, I never understood the reason that modern Christians connect the death and rebirth of their saviour and painted eggs and chocolate rabbits. I never quite got that connection, but I digress. Now, the vernal equinox, as Ostara is also known, has been noted for thousands of years, with many monuments aligning themselves to the sky either at dawn or midday on this particular day itself, because the day and the night are at equal length, hence the term equinox. Modern pagans celebrate by decorating altars with eggs, with rabbits and spring flowers. Some will mark the day with sexual imagery and acts, while others will settle for depictions of gods and goddesses. Now, for some people, the focus on reproductive body parts can feel very reductive and exclusionary. So some practitioners will focus on the creation aspect of the holiday instead, making art, baking, or performing songs written for the occasion. For this month's ritual, I wanted to encompass some new growth, some hopes for the future, and some creativity. So let's get into it. For this ritual, you will need a pen and paper, a seedling or some seeds, your intentions, and your own creativity. I have my pen and paper, and I'm also going to put a little rose quartz bunny rabbit, I don't know if you can quite make that out, just here next to me as well, with the aventurine dragon skull that I've got there. So I have my pen and paper. So what is this ritual all about? Well, this is about creating a sigil, and we're going to use that sigil for something a little bit later on in the month. If you're doing this around Ostara, that'll be perfect timing. So then what we're going to do is write down on this piece of paper a couple of words, maybe 2 or 3 words, that sum up a goal, a hope, or an intention. So for instance, it might be promotion at work. So you would write the words promotion at work. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take away all of the vowels. So we cross those through. And then we're going to look for any doubled up letters, and we're going to take those out as well. So single P, single R, single M, single T, single N, double T. So we cross that T out. A W, a double R, cross that out, and a K. So let's write that one out again. So we've got P, R, M, T, N, W, and K. So now what we need to do is create a symbol using these letters. So I have actually done a little bit of playing around, but you might need to shift them, move them around a bit, flip them, do whatever until you come up with a particular symbol that you are happy with. So for instance, we're going to draw the P first. Then I'm going to use the line to there as an R, just make that one a little bit longer, to create our R. So you see we've got the P, we've got the R. Then I'm going to write the letter M, but in this case I'm turning the paper and I'm using this curve of the R or P, and I'm turning that into an M. So we've got a lowercase m. Then for the T, I'm turning it this way, and I'm going to draw my T, and I'm just drawing it to there. So it's a bit of an elongated, flatter T. Now don't worry about the end bits or the scribbly bits. You can always clean that up afterwards. Then after I've done that, I'm looking for the N. So I can see this line here with that part of the R. Now if I just take that slightly further and take that up, I could create that all the way up. However, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stylize that part of the letter N. So effectively the N would look like that. So it's still noticeably an N, it's just got a little bit more of a curve to it. Then we've got the W. Well, we don't have to worry about that because that M is already there as a W, so that works for us. And then we need the K. Well, we've got that line, so let's just bring in that K there. Now, because I've done a bit of working with this already, I'm quite happy with how that looks. However, I did notice if you were to draw it on its side, so we take the basic shape and we draw our M, our R, our K, and all of our letters in there. So we've got our T, our M, everything all in that little symbol. It actually looks a little bit like a book when it's that way round. So I've got my shape I'm happy with. I'm just going to draw it out again. So I want to have that bottom piece, and then I want to have the letters that make up the P, and also the M, and also the R to there, and the K going across to there. So that is my design. So just to reiterate, you can see we've got the P shape, the R shape, the M shape, we have the T, the N, and the W, and obviously the K in there as well. So that symbol becomes our sigil. Okay, so this becomes what we are working with. So now if you want to, you can make it out of more elaborate, lovely paper. I've got some natural handmade paper that you can make it out of. You could draw it onto something a bit more flimsy, like toilet tissue or something like that. But what you want to have is your symbol that is just written on your piece of paper. And then around Ostara, or you could do this at any time of year, we are going to take some seeds or take a small seedling, and we're going to wrap the roots of the seedling or the seed itself. We're going to use the paper as a little cup or a little holder. So basically what I would do is to slightly crumple it like so, and then place in there my seeds. And then what I would do is put a little bit of dirt and gently pinch these bits together at the top. So I have effectively a little piece of wrapped paper with my seeds and my dirt in there. And then on Ostara, or a day close to it, I would plant this. If you want to, as you plant your seeds or your seedling, this is a perfect time to offer up a prayer or an offering to Eostra or to any local elementals that are perhaps in your garden or in your space, or to a deity that you work with. When I certainly plant mine, I will be working with that universal energy and asking for that growth and that happy prosperity that spring tends to give us, that revitalization, that rebirth. That is something that I will be working with for Ostara for me. Now, once that's been planted and watered, the paper itself will eventually dissolve away to nothing. It will get eaten by the worms and basically biodegrade. And that's what you want. And you want to, throughout the season, throughout this coming growing season, through spring, you want to watch for those seedlings, those shoots to start appearing. If you're using a seedling, you want to see those first signs of growth, those new shoots, those new leaves. And that is how you know that your spell working, your ritual will be happening. Now, you want to spend a little bit of time working on your statement. You want to make it a positive statement, and you want to make sure it is something that is actually achievable. So a promotion at work, while you've set this intention, you've put this all into place, you've planted your packet of seeds or your seedling, and what you also then have to do is actively work towards it. The working itself is giving the universe a nudge in your favor, but you also have to put a bit of that legwork in as well. For me personally, I've got my sigil made. I'm ready to go. It's just, as I'm filming this, we're still waiting for that final cold snap before spring gets in. So I've got about 3 weeks until Ostara, and hopefully then the weather will be warmer and it will be a little bit more receptive to growing seeds. So there you go. It's a simple ritual that you can use anytime, year round, but it's perfect for the Ostara season as we're looking and focusing on those new shoots of spring, that new life, that new energy, and that new growth and hope for the future. Let me know what you think about this ritual down in the comment section, and if you've got any links to any other religious holiday listings that I may be missing throughout these videos, please do let me know. I'm always open to expand my knowledge about paths that I don't personally follow. If you like this video, please do give it a massive thumbs up. That really helps me out with the all-powerful YouTube algorithm. If you would like to get notified each and every time I go live with a tarot live stream, or whenever I upload a video, please do click your subscription button and then ding your bell and change your settings to all. That way you should get notifications from YouTube. But that is going to be it from me today, and as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.